Fan Center Postgame Live is brought to you by Nissan. You deserve a car that thrills you, and Nissan's got an exciting full line that'll put goosebumps on your goosebumps. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today.
Welcome into Postgame Live presented by Nissan. Your final score against the Eagles at home, 29-18 from right out here at Northwest Stadium. Welcome again, myself, Brian Colbert Jr., your host. I'm here with Brian Mitchell and Santana Moss. Fellas, one of our last times here at Northwest. Again, It did not go our way against the Eagles. Initial thoughts before we get started.
Well, this game shows you have to take advantage of our opportunities that you have. We got a turnover early. We're down inside the 5. We don't get a touchdown. We lead with 3 points. Later on in the game, it was a pass that was thrown very late by the quarterback. An interception was there. Marcus Mariota got hurt. I think that would have been a difference if he was here. But the whole thing is you have to take advantage of your opportunities, and I don't think we did that tonight.
Yeah, truly about taking advantage of opportunities that's given. And, be Mitch said, and I can't say it no better, man. I think when you have opportunities to go ahead early on a team like the Eagles, you have to capitalize. We can't settle for 3. But when you look at the bright side of this team, man, they fought hard. I mean, I think before Mariota went out the game, it was a competitive game. And then things kind of turned the corner when Mariota didn't come back into the game. But we've been talking about this all year long. We showed like we had something in us, but we didn't. We wasn't able to uphold that. You know what I mean? And that's why the outcome is what it is.
But you take notes, okay? I saw things in this game that I would have taken notes about. And I'm going to remember the next game I play you. I'm going to remember when we're up. And I hope this team understands that. What the Eagles did today, after they found out they had an opportunity to win the game, they tried to embarrass them. Take that to heart. And work out like that in the offseason and come back next year, flip the script, baby. You know what? Listen, I was revengeful in football. If you do something to me and you want to go boast about it, I'm coming back and get you. And I'm going to have fun with it. I want everybody to understand what happened today. You are as good as they are. You just didn't capitalize. They did.
And we were really that close, like Tanner said. Before Mariota goes down, this is looking like a game. Eagles are struggling. We're getting pressure on the quarterback. We're slowing down the run game. We're doing all of those things that we asked our commanders to do, and we were able to do that. There's no moral victories at all. But, Tanner, there's been too many times we've sat here this season and felt like there was no fight. Felt like there was no heart, there was no identity. That didn't feel like one of these games today, Tanner.
Yeah, it didn't feel like that at all. I think when you look at it, at one point, I told someone in the suite that we're going to win this game. Because I saw the way we was playing. I saw the way we made some key stops. I saw the way our offense was driving the football. But that's one of the things you got to do. You got to capitalize when you have those opportunities. And that's what I'm pretty sure Dan Quinn is talking to the kids. He's going to be talking to those guys all week about. We have to finish. There's one thing about starting, but you have to learn how to finish, and that's what we've been talking about all season long.
Without a doubt. Now, there were some great plays in this game. We're going to get into those. We're going to be hearing from head coach Dan Quinn. Eventually, when he's at his podium, we'll have Logan Paulson come and join us. Before we do anything else, let's get into our Fast Play of the Game, brought to you by Maryland Lottery. Please play responsibly. And this Fast Play, fellas, is our guy, second-year guy, always in the right place at the right time, like we say. Mikey Sanderson doing this forced fumble on opening kickoff. Fellas, this moment right here felt like, okay, we might be able to do something. We might be able to shock the world today, B.
I know everyone's going to talk about how many Eagle fans were in the stadium tonight, but when that play happened,
they was quiet.
How many Commanders fans were in the stadium. It was loud as hell. It was something exciting, and I loved it. It's like you started off the game, let's get it done. But they couldn't carry it on. You got to find a way to take that and work on with it and finish up the game with that. Those type of situations, you get 7 there, the game changes a little bit. You got 3, you still gave them hope. You get 7, I guarantee you it goes a different way.
Without a doubt. You saw this. That ended in us scoring. We had the lead, which we haven't even had in a really long time to start games. So those are the plays we talk about, fellas. And let's talk about the special teams a little bit, because field position was a big deal in this game as well. It's been a big game. It's been a big name of the game in every game we have had so far. How do you feel special teams fared? Because, B, we talked about it all week. Special teams needed to be special today.
We needed something more, but they did okay. I mean, they went out and did things, that right there, that turnover.
Yep.
That gave us a chance. You look for moments where special teams throw the momentum to your side. Early in the game, they threw the momentum to our side.
Yeah.
We just didn't capitalize off of it. You got to find a way to capitalize. And when I say that, it's not I'm saying coaches or players. Everybody together. You know, coaches got to call the right thing. Players got to make sure they execute what's called. And I think right in this thing, we all, like Coach Gibbs always say, we all was in this game. Yeah. We all had a part in losing this game today. We got to find a way to everybody come together and have a part in winning the damn game.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing that we talked about a lot is what we decide to do in the play calling within the red zone. But our first scoring drive, which actually gave us the lead at the half, was in the red zone.
Yeah.
And what did we do? We ran it up the gut, and it's something we have been asking for. Bill fought hard for that touchdown, T.
Yeah, you know, I just told you coming into this game that every game that Bill scored in, we won this year.
Yeah.
So when I saw him going for the tug, I was like, oh, man, that's what we needed.
Good.
Right
Yep, feeling good, feeling great.
It was just good seeing that we were sticking with it. I think that's one of the things that we wanted to see from our offense, to be able to sustain, you know, the run game, and they did so. But like I said before, I think Mariota kind of changed everything. You saw instantly when he came out of the game, their defensive front was totally different. They didn't have no respect for 14 when he came in the game, Josh Johnson.
Yeah.
They said, you know what, we're going to stack the box and make him beat us with his arm.
And I don't know if this is true. I was trying to look it up on my phone. It said he hadn't thrown an NFL pass since 2022, and that was in a playoff game. His first playoff win. So he had not had a chance to do that in a long time. So you understand the defense says, okay, we're going to make you beat us. When you look at this running attack right here, C-Rod. Again, we wondered who was going to be those guys to get the rock. C-Rod, 15 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown. C-Rod is feeling like one of those guys. We heard a couple people say it in the Swoosh Beat, Mitch, that we can really lean on as that RB1.
Listen, man, C-Rod is a guy who's been through this journey of what they call the NFL. He was cut. He was put on practice squad. He came back. He was released. He came back. He came back this time ready. He was very he changed his body.
Yes.
He was faster. Mm-hmm. He's ready to go. So he learned. A lot of people don't get the message. A lot of people don't understand. He did.
Yeah.
And I will put my hat. I would say, listen, I will follow him. I will put some faith in him because that young man learned what he needs to do, went out and did it, and I think he will continue. He's going to be damn good for years to come.
And Tanner B said something he realized. I don't think a lot of people realize when we make the move to move B-Rob, which shocked everybody, right? You get rid of your running back one after his first season with his new quarterback, but I don't think you make a move like that without Chris Rodriguez. If you don't believe in him, yes, I think a lot of people thought that was an indictment on 7th-round pick Bill and how much he was going to play, but clearly it's been Chris Rodriguez who they've really trusted to be that lead back, and I know he's somebody you trust as well.
I think when we got him, man, we all was high on him. We saw what he did in college and how he was a pounder.
Yes.
And I mean, you saw it even last year sometimes, at times when he got a chance. You know, the guy showed that, you know, if he had a dose of more carries, he can maybe put some up, you know, and look promising for us in that backfield. But it's hard when you're juggling so many different guys. And I think that was a major move. You know, that was a major key move. One of the things about coaches and coaching staffs, they'll throw you a bone. They'll tell you as a player, I want to see you a certain way. And if you come back and prove to them that you can be that player, then they'll give you that bone and say, now it's your time to carry the load. And I think that's what they did. They told Rodriguez, we need to see you in a certain way. He came back, surprised all us, and then they said, we're going to reward you with now giving you the job.
And you know what, Tim, that's an excellent point because it's the bones he got last year where B-Mitch said, cut. He had 3 different numbers for us. Yeah. Now I got a feeling C-Rod ain't changing his number for the burgundy and gold in quite some time. Now we are still awaiting head coach Dan Quinn at the podium. We will take that immediately. But until then, let's take a quick break. We'll be back with more Command Center Postgame Live brought to you by Nissan. We'll be right back.
You're watching Command Center Postgame Live from Northwest Stadium.
So you only check it twice?
Well, yes.
Nissan tests every model thousands of times.
We even test them for severe Arctic weather.
No wonder Nissan is J.D. Power's #1 in new vehicle quality. Hold on to that hat, Santa.
Add a Nissan to your list at the Nissan year-end event. Get kicks starting at just $21,830 or get 0% APR on select SUVs for well-qualified buyers.
Everyone say that I am too young to do my own thing, but I know they're wrong. You see, Mama not worried and Papa never did. I'm just a little bitty girl like a whole lot of kids doing my own thing. Check me out, fella. Tell me what you think.
What would you like the power to do? Bank of America.
The best offense is a great defense. Get 100% verified tickets only from Ticketmaster. Seats available all season long, even last minute. Take it to the house every time. Ticketmaster, official marketplace of the NFL.
The Maryland Lottery Holiday Raffle is here with your best chance to win $1 million. Only a limited number of tickets will be sold. There are also 10 $100,000 prizes, and 3 people will win $50,000 in early bird drawings. The final $1 million drawing is on January 2nd. So play the Maryland Lottery Holiday Raffle, because tickets are going fast.
At Northwest Stadium, we raise hail together, cheer together, and trust in our team together. Northwest is proud to support the Commanders. And as your hometown credit union, your goals are our #1 priority. We're your friends, neighbors, and fellow fans. And your financial success is our passion. Become a member today and let us help you build your next dynasty. Northwest Federal Credit Union, where trust matters.
Welcome back into Command Center Postgame Live, presented by Nissan. Your final score, 29-18 against the Eagles. We are awaiting head coach Dan Quinn. As soon as he goes to the podium, we will take that. But until then, let's get into our toast of the town, presented by La Chemin de Ra, Champagne and Branson Cognac, the official champagne and cognac of the Washington Commanders. And our toast of the town, he should be the toast of the town for the rest of the year. Bobby Wagner, the ageless wonder, the future Hall of Famer, the future gold jacket. 14 seasons with 100-plus tackles in a single season, most in the NFL since 2012. Fellas, 10 total tackles today, 5 solo, a sack, 2 tackles for loss. The man just does it in so many different ways. B, you asked me, is he at 2,000? Yeah, he's not there yet. Now, if ESPN is correct, he is at 1975, where he will join our very own London Fletcher and possibly the best to ever do it, Ray Lewis. Yeah. Fellas, let's give Bobby Wagner his flowers right now while he's still here to smell them.
Well, listen, man. Bobby, people like to look at just one aspect of the game, covering guys. But what he does, he gets his defense set up. He has to take on guys that are way bigger than he is. He took on 2 of them in Santa Marcellus in the break, and he came out and he hit the running back in the backfield. Bobby Wagner is a pro's pro.
Yes.
He knows how to play the game. He's dedicated to this game. He studies his tail off, and I think other guys can learn a lot from him.
Yeah.
You don't come into this league and play 14, 15 years if you are just average. He's spectacular, and a lot of guys can learn from him. You can come into this game with all the athleticism in the world, but if you're not a student and you're not dedicated, you will not be around very long. That guy probably over-exceeded anything anybody ever thought about him.
I mean, you couldn't tell me back in 2012 when I was facing Bobby in the
that's crazy.
Those couple of games in the playoffs when he was over there in Seattle that he wasn't a seasoned pro. I think at that time he was probably in his first or second year in the league back then. And so when you think about it, you do the numbers and tell me if I'm right or wrong. And so when I heard that he was coming here and how many years he'd been in, I'm like, what? Wasn't he like 5 or 6 years in the game back then? So I had no clue. But, man, when you watch him, man, you understand, how he's able to be able to come out here year after year, week after week, and put up the numbers he put up because he's ready. He has all the answers. When you watch him play, you see him moving.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows where it's going before they even get there. And that's what you love about him. I played with Ed Reed. I saw it in college. I saw Ed, how he took that and transitioned to the NFL, used the same study and film knowledge. Ray Lewis the same way. Man, London Fletcher did it every week. Yeah. I watched London, I told you, in practice, in games, it all looked the same. And now I'm seeing it all over again with Bobby, man. Walking yellow jacket, I can't wait.
And Tanner, you got to see it in the locker room.
Yeah.
You got to see the impact London Fletcher made in this locker room. I always trish me out. You would tell me, you just look at him. You wouldn't say nothing to him because you like, that brother look crazy, but you respected his game.
Respected his game? No, I admired his game. I didn't respect. I was beyond respect. I felt like London was I felt like he was the elder. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, he was. But I thought he was on my daddy level when I watched him in the locker. I respect him like my old man, like almost like I would see him and I would speak and we would pound and I keep it moving. Like I didn't care to share no more with him but the field because, you know what I mean, I was like, man, I'm out there playing with this guy. And so when I told you it tripped me out just to see the humor in him, you know, sitting back now doing these shows and stuff, right, you know, with him. I didn't know he had that in him, but that just goes to show you, man, he was a pro. And that's a true testament of a pro.
Yeah, a true testament of a pro. And another true testament of Bobby Wagner being a pro. He was honored with being this year's club winner of the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, man. Again, a great athlete, a great player, but an even better human. Now, this award honors these players who are doing it well on the field and even better off the field, as B-Miss said. Nationwide and the NFL are honored to recognize Bobby for his amazing work in the community. Bobby does so many things, not only as a legend and a player, but, man, he also just got his graduate degree from out at Howard. So he's going to school, too, man. Like, there's so many things Bobby Wagner does. Shout out to him. Now, we got to go to break real quick. When we come back, we will hopefully be hearing from head coach Dan Quinn, who knows we are out here in this cold, waiting on him. This is Command Center Postgame Live, presented by Nissan. We'll be right back.
All right.
You're watching Command Center Postgame Live from Northwest Stadium.
So you only check it twice?
Well, yes.
Nissan tests every model thousands of times.
We even test them for severe Arctic weather.
No wonder Nissan is J.D. Power's #1 in new vehicle quality. Hold on to that hat, Santa.
Add a Nissan to your list at the Nissan year-end event. Get kicks starting at just $21,830 or get 0% APR on select SUVs for well-qualified buyers.
Trust brings us together as families, friends, and neighbors. At Northwest Federal Credit Union, we know your financial decisions are more than just signing on a dotted line. You're putting your trust on the line, and as life unfolds, we'll be here for every step of your journey. At Northwest, we work to earn your trust every day, because this is our community too. Become a member today. Northwest Federal Credit Union, where trust matters.
Heaven, West Virginia.
Come to West Virginia this season and put the wonder back into winter. Find miles of uncrowded, snow-covered country to explore, and cozy cabins and lodges, all at prices that'll make you feel warm inside. Find your almost heaven at wvtourism.com.
You're watching Command Center Postgame Live, presented by Nissan. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop nissanusa.com.
Welcome into Command Center Postgame Live, presented by Nissan. Your final score from out here at Northwest Stadium, 29-18. Now let's get into our post-game delivery, brought to you by Paisanos. the official pizza of the Washington Commanders. Order now at paisanospizza.com. Pizza, wings, and Commanders football. And somebody who always delivers is Logan Paulson. Came down from the sideline to come kick it with us. My brother, we all said it here. Felt like we was there. Felt like this might have been our game. Mariota goes down. What did you see from your vantage point?
Yeah, I mean, I think it wasn't like we were right there. It's like I think we were there. I think that's exactly the type of game that we needed. And get an explosive play on special teams. Again, bend but don't break defense. Get off the field on third down. Get a fourth down turnover. Love that offensively. We got some explosive chunks like we talked about a little bit, the way they play their match coverage. They man it up on the outside. Terry McLaurin on Adoree Jackson. I'll take that all day and 6 times on Sunday, obviously. So, man, again, there were things
Saturday.
here, right? There were things here that got you really excited. And I think it just shows you, honestly, man, how good Mariota has been for this team over the course of the year. Like, when he goes out, all of a sudden you understand, like, the limitations of those guys further down the depth chart. And it's tough, man, because I also thought, again, C-Rod, I thought, did a great job. Some of those runs, they're not blocked up well, and he has put his head down and gained 4 yards, keep us ahead of the chains. Like, there was a lot of offensive things to be excited about in the first half. But, again, when you're playing a team like Philadelphia that is that talented defensively, that has that much firepower offensively, you got to play almost a perfect game. And, again, when, you know, Josh Johnson's an awesome dude. Hasn't got the reps. And it definitely showed up today.
When you play a team that's down, you got to keep them down.
Absolutely.
And I think we had opportunities to do some things we didn't take advantage of. And when you do that and you keep giving them chances, that team with that much talent, they're going to make plays. And I think that happened in this game. Look, they came into this game, many people didn't give them a chance at all. But early on, I'm sure they were shook. They were worried about some things. But you got to finish. And I think as we go through this thing, we got 2 more games. And as you go into the offseason of next year, your mindset should be finish.
I think that's the thing I'd like to ask you guys, because in a game like this and in a season that's gone with so much adversity, if you look at that first half, you say, how far off are we really from beating Philadelphia? And my conclusion was like, not really. You get Jaden Daniels back in the fold. You got a healthy Terry McLaurin. Traylon Burks is coming on. Debo, whoever is that third element. And you're like, man, if the Philadelphia Eagles are going to play that way, we got a shot. We got a shot, man.
It's never as far as you think. And I think the ultimate thing is when you are a team and you're struggling, you're forcing. You're stressing. And you make mistakes.
You're pressing.
When you're a team and you're good, you know, you can just go out there and play willy-nilly. And I think that's the thing about it. Right now, we have to be exceptional. Like you said, perfect game to win a game. They don't have to be.
And I think the other thing, man, that I'm looking at is that 2-point conversion late. Like, I'm putting that in the old Rolodex, man. I'm putting that in the Rolodex, and last game of the season is probably going to be, I'm going to make sure that's a tough one, and then every time we play them, I'm going to make sure it's tough, man.
You know, if I had everybody's phone number, I would have sent a group text and say, mark this right here. This is what we're going to look at the whole offseason. I'm revengeful. And what they did right there, that was embarrassing. They wanted to embarrass you.
Yes, way.
That right there? Oh, I'm going to mention it to every player I talk to. I'm going to mention that, believe me.
But I think, again, like that's good, man.
No, I like it.
You need some fuel.
Yeah.
Fire,
you
man.
got that nerd Sirianni trying to be like that. I want him to remember that. I run sideline and put my elbow right in his neck.
I think also, too, when you look at it, that just go to show you, I mean, you can look at it as disrespect or respect. Because, honestly, they semi-felt what we was given. You know what I mean? And for us to be where we sitting at 4-10, coming into this thing, so many guys down, not having our starting quarterback there, and still having to fight and claw and beat us, and then they feel like, okay, we got to score on them. Let's go ahead and stick it to them and really show them who we are. But to me, I look at it as a respect thing also. But I feel beat because it was some BS. But at the same time, I don't take everything as disrespect because you look at it, man. They had to fight hard for everything they got, you know. And the thing kind of just switched when we know, Mariota went down. So, we got to see him again.
So I was up there for 3 years. That was disrespect.
So I've got like an old school philosophy. I'm like, if you can't stop them, they can do what they want. You know what I mean? And so like that's part of how I look at that.
But you remember it.
You remember it. And so we're gonna get better this offseason.
But to
over 2 points every time you score a touchdown.
But to Tanner's point, they're not maybe doing that to every 4-11 team. You got to mean a little something to them for them to do that. To Tanner's point, and again, we had a chance to beat them. They were nervous in here when that forced fumble happened. Everybody was quiet except for Commanders fans. Logan, let's talk a little bit about Marcus Mariota. I want to talk about C-Rod too as we wait for head coach Dan Quinn to be at the podium. Marcus Mariota, for what we've seen, 7-14, 96 yards, but commanded the offense, ran the offense in an efficient way that we have grown to see him, but it took time. he looks far more comfortable now than when we first had him starting for Jaden Daniels, in place of Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I think that's the thing about Marcus, man, and hopefully his hand injury is not a big thing. He's going to be able to play for the rest of the season. Because, again, man, like, having a guy that has been so confident with his playmakers has been a godsend. You know, I think about the Broncos game and, like, his ability to throw to Terry in those tight window throws here down the field to Terry on that explosive play down the field. I mean, he had also one to Traylon Burks, like in a tight window over the middle. The one that got called back is the holding. Like, even though that stat line isn't great, I think there was other plays that aren't going to show up. So having that valuable piece as your backup quarterback, a guy that can mentor, but a guy that also has playmaking ability, I think it's invaluable. I hope he's healthy. I hope he can play the rest of the season because, again, we've seen what this offense looks like when we're a little bit when we're down to the third option. And, again, isn't this game like just a perfect microcosm of this entire season? Like what could have been versus what actually happened because of injuries, because of adversity. It's just a tough pill to swallow.
Oh, yeah. For sure. And it's funny, what could have been, right? Last year, it was kind of opposite. Like, oh, man, what could have been? We could have lost that game. We found ways to get it done, and it's crazy the differences that a year makes. Now, we are still awaiting head coach Dan Quinn. But let's talk about Traylon Burks a little bit, Logan. I'm actually interested to hear about you and Tanner from this because we talked a lot about Noah Brown all offseason and how he was that perfect complement to Terry and what Debo does. But now you look at what Traylon Burks does out there and the way he plays the game. Tanner, he seems like the perfect complement to Terry and Debo. I know you love the kid, man.
Big hands, man.
Goodness.
I mean, big body. Seems like he can run well for his size. Catch rate is out of the yin-yang. I just feel like, man, when I see him make those splash plays, man, I just smirk because I'm like, man, if we can get that for a whole year and get him an offseason with a lot of other weapons around him, who knows what he can be? You know, he looks like a one by himself at times. Just to think, when you have a Terry, you have a Debo on the side of him, he could come in and be that third guy. So, you know, I'm intrigued just to see what he can be, man. Where his ceiling at?
And Tanner, to your point, he led us in targets today. They're trying to get him involved. They're trying to get him the ball. Logan, is that what you're seeing from your sideline? Because it seems as if you get the ball in his hands, he might be able to do something with it.
I think that's the thing that was exciting about today is like he was always like, oh, like what could be? And then I think it kind of went down that road a little bit farther, which is great to see. I mean, he's a former first-round pick, a guy that was supposed to replace A.J. Brown. You see a lot of the qualities, and he just hasn't had an opportunity to grow in the NFL. He's still a very young football player, and so I think, man, like Tanner said, the catch radius, the competitive toughness, man. Like I watch him on those insert blocks. Like this dude wants to play football. He wants to earn a job. And a hungry, talented football player is a dangerous person to have in your team because, again, like they're just going to keep getting better and better.
People like to say when you discuss injuries, you're making excuses. But if he hadn't been injured, you could see him doing the things he did today. All these years he's already been in the league.
No doubt.
If they can find a way to keep him healthy,
man,
and he can go out there and stay be healthy a whole season,
off
you
season.
can see a big dude. Great hand. That pass he caught there was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I just like, and he's around the right guys. Guys like Terry be good for him.
And again, I think Logan said it too, a whole offseason, right? Like getting a guy like Traylon Burks to be able to know, okay, you're in here. You're in position now. You're not on waiver. He had never been cut before when I was talking to Traylon Burks. Appreciate you, Logan. I was trying to give you a heads up.
Sorry.
Listen, it's cold out here, man.
I've been outside for about 4 hours. I can't even feel my face.
I'm about to say, I see a snot come down your nose.
It's happening. I'm sorry.
Hey, listen, my man is on that sideline, brother. And listen, on that sideline, is happy to have Terry McLaurin back. It's been great to see him and how he's affected this game. Before we talk about Terry, though, let's talk about Debo a little bit because we're getting towards the end of the year. His first year here with the Burgundy and Gold, and we've seen how dynamic and his playmaking ability. Logan, how can he build off of that? You talk about an offseason with Traylon Burks. What about Debo, Terry, and Traylon Burks together getting to build on this?
I mean, look at Terry, man. I just think, man, like there's always this conversation about where he's at, where is he ranked, and just I don't know if I've seen a player like when you got to have it, make a play the way he makes it.
Man.
You know, and like the competitive toughness, the physical toughness, like the dexterity as a route runner and a pass catcher, like it showed up to me this year more than any other year, and he didn't even play that much. So I'm like, man, I wish I could have seen this year, you know, fully committed to Terry kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like when he's on the grass all the time. So again, I think about him, and I know they got to work out Debo's contract situation or whatever this offseason, but Terry, Burks, you know, Jalen Lane, man. Like I think there are some young, talented pieces here, and some kind of mixed with the veterans that you're talking about. That's really important.
For sure, and somebody you mentioned that I want to get back to, Chris Rodriguez Jr. I think we've all seen him grow a ton. We saw what his last year was like. We talked about that a little bit. Talked about him possibly trusting being that RB1 for us, Logan, what we've seen from him, the way he was able to transform his body, the way we've been able to lean on him and count on him time and time again. Do you see him being a RB1 in the NFL?
I think that's the tough thing, man, is like the running back position is so dense, right? It's so dense. And you look at like a true RB1, it's Saquon Barkley. And he's not that, right? But is he a guy that has a role on a football team? I think 1,000%. And a guy that, given a week, could have 20 carries? Absolutely. And I think he's shown an ability to elevate the offensive line in a way that's very unique to him, breaking tackles, the physical downhill style. Like, so, yeah, is he a true one like Derrick Henry, Jahmyr Gibbs? I don't think he's that. But is he a good NFL starter that has a role and a skill set that is valuable? I think 100%.
And his style of play, when I look at the way he plays the game, regardless if it's him or a player like him, that is the perfect complement to what we have in Bill. Because we know we got in Bill. We know Bill's going to get those carries, but C-Rod seems like the perfect complement.
Most teams today don't have that King Henry, that type of guy. They have 2 or 3 guys that can play it. And I think Chris is a great lead guy for that. You look at what he does, the way he pounds, the way Bill pounds. Bill's going to get even better in the second year. Watching a guy like a Rodriguez, like a McNichols, if any one of those guys could become that guy that could be the dual threat, then you don't have to worry about 3 guys. You can just worry about 2. I think all of those guys are going to feed off each other. If you don't have the number 1 guy, that guy that could do everything, you have to have guys that can do multiple things. And they may not be as good as one, but they can do another thing real good. They can work games out for you. And Chris, he completely changed up things. Like I said, when they let you go, they put you on practice squad, they let you go, they bring you back. He came in this year and say, I want to be in the mix, and he was in the mix.
And I think the other thing about him that was so fun to watch today is like they had some missed targeted runs. They had free runners in the hole, but you didn't know it because it's still 2nd and 6 because he's breaking a tackle, he's falling forward, he's making a guy miss. And that is what I want to see from that kind of quote-unquote starting guy, right? A guy that can elevate the offensive line. And, again, he's not the fastest guy, he's not the biggest guy, but he runs with such assertion that I think he deserves that what you're talking about, that larger role.
And when Beeman says does it all, I look at our defensive side of the ball and I look at Bobby Wagner. We spoke about him a little bit, the Walter Payton Man of the Year, honoree, the winner. Bobby keeps doing it. A sack, 2 tackles for loss, a very impressive sack, by the way. What have you seen from Bobby Wagner, especially in this game here?
I mean, today was the day I thought, like, Bobby turned back the clock. Like, Bobby looked like a guy from 3 or 4 years ago. Like, it was unbelievable, man.
And we've said that a few times.
He's running with the back in the flat, right? He's tackling. I mean, I don't know how many tackles. I know he's like 25 tackles away from 2,000, but he had, was it 10? You could feel every single one of those. The pass rush, like, there was a period in the second quarter where I was like, man, if they could get Bobby one-on-one with Saquon, he's going to get a sack. And just the physicality, the mentality, the experience. Like, he turned back the clock for me today, and it was awesome to watch.
Right now, 1975. Now, I do not know if those 10 are included. It could be 1985. Right now, ESPN is saying 1975, 25 away from joining the ranks of Ray Lewis and London Fletcher. Logan, how special will that be? Somebody that watches so much film. You've seen so much football. Bobby's been doing this since 2012. Tanner said they were playing together. He was in like year 6 or 7. This is insanity what we're seeing from Bobby, Logan.
I mean, honestly, it makes me kind of emotional. Like, it makes me emotional, like, when you see somebody who's had that kind of, like, hanging out with B. Mitch, man. Like, knowing his commitment to the game, knowing Fletcher's commitment to the game, knowing how good they were playing and observing these guys, and then seeing Bobby, who's on that journey still. Like, and and I think you play your whole career, right, kind of hoping to transcend the game, but the game is too big. And he's on the verge of doing something that's very close to transcending that, which is such a unique and powerful experience. And it's really cool to be here watching not only his play, but his leadership. Like, how old is he? He's 34 years old?
35.
And he is playing this game like he's a rookie. Like, he went out there and played with a physical mentality today that was so awesome to watch. And again, like, kudos to him, man. Kudos to him, man.
I love it too, man. He's just inspired so many people that are in the building, so many people that have played, so many of his coaches. It's crazy to think that he was calling London Fletcher, asking for advice, and now they're in the same building. That stuff is so valuable. Shout out to Bobby Wagner, Walter Payton Man of the Year winner for the Washington Commanders. And somebody else I want to highlight real quick, because it's been next man up on our defense, man. You talk about the offensive side of the ball, man. We're missing like 10 starters on the defensive side. But somebody that continues to show up, and I don't think we talk about him enough, Jacob Martin.
Dude,
another sack in this game. Oh, my gosh. I don't know if any of us knew what we were getting from Jacob Martin when we got him. He was more of a rotational guy with Chicago. He's looking like the real deal, Logan. Oh, Beavis, go ahead.
When he came here, everyone said, oh, that's just a guy that they got from Chicago. So I went and looked at some film of him. And I watched the lean. I watched the bend. I said, you know what? This guy could be something special. And he didn't get a lot of opportunities early. But once he got his opportunity, he got it done.
Now we are about to take head coach Dan Quinn at the podium right now. We'll be back right after this.
All right, why don't we get rolling? First things I thought, coming back to the game and thinking back, I liked how we came out, honestly, like the special teams, the forced fumble between Mikey on the hit and Kane, I thought on the recovery. It was one of the longest battles of a scrum you can ever see. It went on, and so at the end of it he wasn't giving up the ball. Liked early on how we ran the ball offensively, how we, made some stops and flew around on defense. I thought, honestly, like the timing of the defensive penalties, not extending some of the drives on offensively on third down. I thought that's kind of the story of the game within the game. There was a lot to like early when I told the guys, in this game we're going to have to arrive violently and finish violently. And I thought first half we did do that, but it has to be for the whole time. I'll give you some updates on just some injuries. We had 3 injuries occur during the final 2 minutes. I know you guys didn't get an update on that. Sam Cosme and Johnny Newton were evaluated for a concussion. I'll give you an update onto that. And Brandon Coleman had a shin injury. So I don't have any updates. I haven't visited with the medical staff or with any of the players on that. So I don't have any updates to share, but I wanted to make sure I was clear with you. Marcus injured his hand. I'll give you a better update tomorrow onto that, what it looks like, in terms of the preparation for the week. But again, I haven't visited with the medical guys or with Marcus specifically, so I just want to make sure I was giving you everything I could up front. All that said, why don't we get rocking with your questions and get started?
Dan, what were your thoughts on the 2-point conversion and then the fight that kind of went after that?
Yeah, I thought this would be a tough game that would go all the way through. We talked last year's game. We thought the biggest difference was, the turnover margin. And if we could play, better in that space, we'd give ourselves a real shot to go. So, hey, that's their choice, man. I want to look at the tape and see what happened before, our ejections or poise or any of those things. Like, our guys are absolutely going to stick up for themselves and for their teammates. And so I'll have a better sense, as I get through it.
Just how difficult is it for you guys to have another in-game quarterback change?
It's challenging for sure. And, for Josh, obviously, like not getting a lot of the reps into that space. So he'll get more, as it goes. And we'll have, like I said, a better sense for where it is for Marcus. But it's a tough spot for anybody to go into. That was no different really with Marcus when he had to go in. So it's part of the gig, but it's definitely tough just for looks, because oftentimes you're game planning or designing, one thing, but then you have to go in and do that job. So I thought, the play you'd like to have back would be the interception, and we'll get a sense for what this week looks like.
Obviously, it's their choice to go for 2 there,
right
and it's your job to stop them. But is there an unspoken respect between coaches, teams, where in a game in that situation you don't do that, and kind of did you feel like it was a little bit of a sign of disrespect?
Yeah, I can only answer from my side what I would do, but hey, man, like that's how they want to get down, and like. All good. We play them again in 2 weeks.
Hey, Coach, when you all get down into the goal line from an offense perspective,
yep.
Is there anything around the analytics or just the overall decision-making on when you get right there, whether you're going for the run or the pass there?
Some of it is the decision to go, I would say, are some analytics like use some numbers like, 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. What would the percentage be? So, like, that's there. But you also factor in what do they play into that spot. So if a team was really strong loading the box and you say, okay, hey, I want to attack the perimeter or attack something differently, that's what you look at. So it does come into like both. Usually before the game, we're going through, in our meetings to say we'd go at this spot, we wouldn't at this spot. So that way we're kind of prepared. So when we get to that space, we know, hey, this is where we'd go from, this is where we'd kick from, and so I try to just be clear with everybody when we get to that spot. So maybe referring to like the first series, right on. So at that spot, if it was inside of 1 in this game, we thought, okay, that'd be a good spot to go. But further out, we thought, hey, getting the points to start the game would be the way that we would go. So sometimes even you run it, you gain 1, lose 1, where is it at? But yeah, it had to be closer, in that spot, and then you go. And I don't second guess those, like this is the areas that we practiced, and then we dig in from there. But yeah, that's a little bit of both.
And it seemed like the score was at like 14-10. It was like you all were right in it until you weren't. And I know you haven't had opportunity to look at the film, but was there just a moment that you can think of and said, okay, this is kind of when the bottom fell out?
I think the long run by Saquon in the fourth, like we had a fourth down, maybe in the start of the fourth, maybe there was like 10 minutes or something like that, Candy, and we punted. I felt like that was the right call then. We were, close enough. If you get a good stop on the next one, we got a 3-and-out, we got it again, and then there was a long one that he broke, maybe 40 or 50 yards. But I thought, stay in there. There wasn't going anything that was big over the top. And so I think that was the one that I felt like, man, the tank's getting emptied here, and it felt lower. So that was kind of that point in the game where I was like, back and forth. Could you get right back into it or not? At the half, I liked, the fight where we were, starting with the ball. And obviously, like, losing Marcus in the game, that's, like, no doubt, like, a factor for it. But, yeah, I don't know if there's that specific play felt bad.
Dan, in another game with injuries hampering you guys, does it reaching a point where you're going to debate sitting some guys for the last couple games?
Yeah, it's not something that we've discussed.
On the fight that you referenced after the 2-point conversion, is that something where, you had multiple guys throw punches and get ejected? Like, are you okay with that? It kind of looked like a practice fight almost. You don't see many of those in games.
Yeah, I think let's look, what did New York see on them, who threw, how many got ejected. I can imagine it's a difficult thing for them to look at. It certainly felt like there were more than 3 people throwing. But, I'll have to take a look. Certainly not something we want, but, like, by the same token, like, they're going to protect themselves too. So don't like it, don't want it at all.
And then you punted twice in the fourth quarter. I think 4th and 4, 4th and 6 with like 9 minutes left, 6 minutes left, 11-point game. What was the thinking on punting rather than going for those?
Sure. Yeah, on the first one, I think I was just referring to that earlier. At that point, we still had 3 timeouts. There was over 9 minutes. I thought that was, good result. What you want is go get a 3-and-out, get a stop. We did that. And so, thought going into it again, could you do that again? And when you don't, and we let up the long run, obviously, strategy-wise, not ideal. Obviously, like quarterback change, like all those things factor in. It's not just as easy as why not go here, why not? In hindsight, 2020. On the early one, I felt there's still plenty of time, all timeouts. Could we go get a stop? I'd like the way, we've been playing. And so, you think you can go replicate that. We didn't with the long run. So I'd say on the first one, I thought it was probably the right call. On the second one, you probably roll the dice and see where you can go. Looking back on it now, at the time, I thought get another punt, get another stop, get back into the game. I just didn't feel like we had to decide it then at 4th and 5 was not easy against this crew, especially with new QB in the game. But, yeah, that's fair criticism by you.
I know it was a brief exchange with Coach after the game. Did he say anything about what happened there?
No, I don't think any of us said anything. So I just gave a handshake and we moved it on.
You have 2 games left. I know
Yes.
that's the focus right now, but the last 2 times you've played these guys, the first one was really bad. This one wasn't as bad. I just wonder, like, where do you think things are, and is it hard to do that with all the injuries you've had to kind of evaluate?
Yeah. Well, I thought the biggest determinant factor last season was the turnover margin. I thought, man, and it wasn't like we just handed it to them. They took it, punched it out, got it out. And so that was a big emphasis going into the game. So I liked how we started, and I thought if we'd win the turnover margin, we'd have a real shot, to go play well and to win it. So in the fourth quarter, where I had an interception, didn't get enough stops, I thought that was the real factor in it today, DA. But, man, at the end, I loved how the way we came out to fight. I felt like it was the right plan in terms of how we'd go. Knew it'd be hard fought. Like, that's just how it was going to be. So I liked a lot more about this one, obviously, than previously. But there's a chance to win everyone, even with different personnel and different spots. It's how you have to best utilize the players that you have and not worry about the ones, that aren't here. I think that's what we tried to do and say, okay, how do we win with the best, options available? And we got to do that for the whole game. And when we do that, that's when we're, have our best chance to go beat them.
Take 2 more. Hi, Coach. Now, you talked about how you really like the energy of the team starting off in the first half, and then you also have talked about, having those fast starts in the beginning of the season. So just seeing that today and just the energy that's carried throughout the game, what does it say about a team like this that's now sitting at 4-11 but is still up for the fight?
Yeah, it certainly feels terrible to hear that record. And that's hard. That's difficult. Based on what I saw at practice, I thought these guys would really play hard. Like, came off the week, went back to it again. And so I sensed, from what the energy I felt from them, the preparation, I felt this is a group that's ready to go do their thing. No one in our locker room, is talking about who we don't have or who wasn't there, those things. And so it was about how we'd go win it. And that was really the only thing on our mind. But I'd expect that from them. I expect that from them this week, as we prepare again, how we go about it and how we go. But it's an excellent group of guys. Like, that part, it's a matter of, can we go finish the whole thing? But I do love the way that the energy they came out with.
Nikki, last one. Maybe a strange question, but just when everybody was shaking hands, just kind of noticed that you were hanging back and just seemed to watch and
I just want to make sure anything didn't go sideways, and so into that spot. I know how quickly we're going to play again, so I just wanted to make sure if I had to step into any space that I'd be able to bring my bouncing skills back into space. I just felt like, man, this is not the time to lose somebody post-game into a game, just 5 days away. So it's one thing to say the poise, but, it's another thing when you're the person in that moment. And so I just thought that was the best course of action. And everything was fine on both sides. They're guys, our guys. It was nothing I had to worry about. I just, that was my thoughts.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you.
That was your head coach, Dan Quinn, at the podium. Now, let's take a look at the road ahead. Brought to you by Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com. And fellas, it's crazy to say there's just 2 games left. Our next one will be on Christmas Day, right here at Northwest Stadium. But it'll be earlier, so hopefully, fellas, not as cold. Then we end the season in Philly against the People that is TV. That may be on a Saturday. It might be on a Sunday. But regardless, your Command Center game day crew will be out there from enemy territory. Fellas, just 2 left on this day. Let me get y'all final thoughts so we can get up out of this cold. B.
I'll just say just focus on capitalizing off opportunities. If you do that, you have a chance to win 1 game, maybe 2, as you close out the season.
Got 2 left, man. Got to leave it all out there. You know what I mean? Finish strong as we can.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think, it's so easy to kind of say, let's get on to next season. But, hey, these are opportunities. Let's be with the opportunity. Let's make the most of it and try to win some games.
All right. Fellas, that's Logan Paulson. He kicked it with us this whole time after peeing out on that sideline in this cold the whole time. Logan, we appreciate you so much. I'm your host, Brian Colbert Jr., here with Brian Mitchell and Santana Moss. This is Command Center Postgame Live presented by Nissan. We'll see y'all on Christmas Day. Happy holidays, Commanders family. We out.